Now, in other news, the Vatican has announced that priests who are part of a breakaway right-wing Catholic group which ordained bishops without the approval of Pope Leo are to be excommunicated. The group is called the Society of St. Pius X, and the Vatican also warning now that any lay Catholics who formally adhere to the group will be excommunicated as well. Well, let's go live then to Rome. Seema Gupta, our correspondent, is with me on the programme. Seema, this is certainly an unusual story. I'm not sure I could remember something like this in the time I've been doing this job. Just tell us about this breakaway Catholic group. Who are these members that have been expelled?
Well, essentially, as you mentioned, the Society of St. Pius X, they're based in Switzerland. They are an ultra-traditionalist group, and they deny key church teachings. Basically, they oppose the reforms that were put in place in the Second Vatican Council. Now, that was a gathering of Catholic bishops back in the 1960s to bring about reforms and modernize the Catholic Church. It's also known by Catholics as Vatican II. Now, some of the changes that were made back then in the 60s were, for instance, they allowing Mass to be celebrated in the vernacular. That means it's celebrated in local languages all throughout the world and not as it was before, where it had to be celebrated in Latin. And it also sought to repair ties between the church and Jewish people, as well as other Christian denominations. So those were some of the key teachings in Vatican II. And this group, which was founded in 1970 by a then French archbishop known as Marcel Lefebvre, and he opposed these liberalizing changes to the Catholic Church. And back then, in 1988, he went about ordaining 4 bishops for his group that he had created. And the Pope back then, Pope John Paul II, excommunicated those bishops and Lefebvre himself. Now, Lefebvre died in 1991, but Pope Benedict XVI, Pope John Paul II's successor, tried to come some kind of renewed dialogue with this society. And he in fact, in 2009, lifted and removed the excommunication of the remaining 4 bishops. And Pope Francis even tried to create some kind of link with them, saying that, well, during the Jubilee year, they could listen to confessions as well. Also, he said that they could carry out the rite of marriage. But now you find that this group has yet again tried to put in place this ordination of bishops without the Pope's blessing. And that is something that is a clear no-no as far as the Catholic Church is concerned. You can't do that without, it's the Pope who ordains any bishops. And so this is a clear violation of that. And so today we had a statement from the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith. Now, that's the Catholics' watchdog authority, saying very clearly it's not just the 2 bishops that carried out this ordination and the 4 that were ordained. Now, the Vatican has excommunicated all priests and lay Catholics that are part of this grouping. Clearly, they're saying that this is not allowed. Any kind of sacrament, whether marriage or listening to confessions, will not be allowed there. It's simply a rupture, a schism, if you like, within the Catholic Church from this particular grouping.
OK, a schism, you call it. Seema, what do you think this means then for the Catholic Church more broadly and for Pope Leo?
Well, this really is the first crisis, if you like, that Pope Leo is facing within the Church. That said, we understand from reports that the grouping numbers between 150 and 200,000 people. And of course, the Catholic Church in its entirety numbers 1.4 billion people. But clearly, Pope Leo is upset by this. He pleaded to the group in a letter to its leader just a few days before this ordination took place in that tiny village in Switzerland, an ordination where over 16,000 people attended. And he pleaded to them, don't do this. And he turned to them with all his heart. He said, turn back. And on Wednesday, we heard from the Secretary of State, the number 2 in the church, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, who said that he felt a deep sorrow with regards to this ordination. And he said it wounds the unity of the church. Now, Pope Leo has stressed right from the beginning that he wants unity of the church. He has said that this fringe group, if you like, are really calling into question those traditional teachings that he says. And he has said that Vatican II is a fundamental element within church teachings. So he's not going to back down on this. Now, this group, though, is one of many traditionalist groups within the church. Others have not ordained bishops on their own, and they're still part of the church. And in fact, Pope Leo just last year allowed an American cardinal to actually carry out a Latin Mass in St. Peter's Basilica. So there are moves to repair ties between traditionalists, if you like, in the more modern aspects of the church. But with regards to this group, the very fact that they decided to ordain yet again bishops was clearly not something that Pope Leo and the church could stand for, and therefore this very strong statement about excommunication.